All right, so Knocked Up, Seth Rogen comedy. Obviously, well, quite a while ago now this got made. Um, so I would say I really like this movie, and I know it's weird that like a movie like this has been on for so long, and you go back to it and you see all the people before obviously anything actually happens. Like Seth Rogen, I think this is his first film, and Jonah Hill obviously really hadn't done anything yet, and it was just like the year the Superbad came out, and obviously there's the guy. There's quite a few people from This Is the End, which is quite weird watching it, and obviously then years later all this stuff happened for them and things, and it's interesting in that aspect. I actually really like this movie. I think it's funny. I think Seth Rogen's really good. I've always enjoyed Seth Rogen's films. Never disliked his films. I mean, yes, he does appear in Paper Heart, but we will get to that later on. As someone who I don't like in this movie. Um, but Katherine Heigl's really good. She plays the character in a way that I haven't seen her play a character before, which was interesting. Um, it is predictable, yes, but I don't think that ruins it. And I think while I was watching it, I got quite interested in a bunch of different things going on. You got like Paul Rudd, and you got like Leslie Mann, and all those kinds of things going on in it. And I think it does do its job, and I think it's in the sort of vein of Judd Apatow that he does comedy in a certain way, and I think he does characters in a certain way that you remember them, and I think it's also good to remember that you don't have that thing of an annoyance or dread or like you get with some American comedies, like Adam Sandler films. You don't get that here. I think what you get is you get a lot of people who are talented and funny and know what they're doing, and you trust them, and you're in good hands. So there are lots of things to like about it. However, going on to Miss Charlene Ying, who I hate with a passion. From Paper Heart, which was by far the worst Michael Cera film ever made, she appears in this movie. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it. That just because you're friends with her doesn't mean you have to throw her in your movie, okay? She is the most annoying person ever, probably, on film. And she doesn't know it, which makes it even worse. That every time she says a line, it's like, oh, that's so funny. It's like, shut up. And it's just like, honestly, if you cut her out of the movie, it would be less annoying when she pops on screen, and it's just ridiculous. Like, who the hell thought this was a good idea? I mean, the best thing about Paper Heart was the really bad reviews it got and just slamming Charlene Ying to pieces because she is awful. And I just don't get the point of it. Of oh, they're a bunch of funny guys who I really like, and then you throw in somebody who's crap, and then I was like, oh yeah, we're all friends with her and appreciate her and think she's funny, but no, she's not. So I've had enough of Charlene Ying, and enough. I'm just gonna move on and shut up about this stupid cow. I hate her. I would say the B word, but I won't go there. So there you go. That's the only thing I don't like about this movie. There's lots to like about it. I think there's lots of interesting things going on with the plot that you sort of get in comedy films. Obviously, it's not like a plot heavy film, but when the plot does come along, you get some plot points and stuff. It does work, and I think it works in the same way that Judd Apatow has obviously done with his other films. And I think that Superbad still stays as the best comedy film in my opinion. But still, I enjoyed this film a lot, and I wasn't really sure how much I was going to enjoy it. But having watched it, I have to say I do really like it, and I think that Seth Rogen holds his own. I think this is one of his best performances. I do like Seth Rogen a lot. It's just I think he's done lots of work, but it's nice to see him in his first role, what he did at the beginning, and I think Katherine Heigl as well, because she looks so young in this movie, which is really weird. And it's kind of interesting to have the whole thing of that she's a news presenter and stuff like that, and you actually see some stars, which is quite cool in one bit. And Steve Carell won't say, like, there's certain thing that she wants him to say, and it's like, don't be an asshole. I'm not an asshole. I just can't do it, Steve. And stuff like that, and stuff like that. And well, what's actually quite amusing is that one person in particular looks so incredibly young that if you compare him from this movie to This Is the End, you actually feel like you've gone time warp back. And Jonah Hill looks the same. I mean, he doesn't look any different. And the guy, Craig Robinson, Take Your Panties Off, that guy, he's in this movie as the doorman, and it's a really good scene with him and Leslie Mann, which is hilarious. And it's just really interesting, because I've never actually seen Leslie Mann in a movie before, so I have no idea what she's like, but I think she's awesome. I really do. I think she's cool. And it's just interesting to see somebody you haven't seen before in a movie and stuff like that. But there's also stuff that is meant to be quite cringeworthy. Not as in, I don't mean cringeworthy as in like it's not funny and it just completely just doesn't make a hit or anything. I mean cringeworthy in that he'll say something that he doesn't realize is like inappropriate and just say it, but then after like some time has moved on, like a minute or so, he'll actually realize, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. But it's interesting seeing a bunch of boys all together acting like a bunch of morons and him trying to sustain a relationship and be serious. And then there's a bit where they all go out paintballing and he says he's not going, for obvious reason. And I just thought this film was so much better than I was expecting it to be. And I do enjoy Judd Apatow movies, and I do like comedy films, and I do like Seth Rogen, and I like everyone in this movie apart from Charlene Yuing. So, yeah. And I think maybe it's a sort of weird thing that you sort of see a comedy film which is quite serious for most of its running time. But I think that's a good thing. And I think there are lots of jokes and it's funny and you laugh. But it's, I think, the most serious sort of Judd Apatow film I've seen. Because there's a lot of like serious like drama stuff which pulls you in and get quite invested and you like the characters and like what's going on and enjoy yourself. So I say this movie's pretty damn good and well, pretty damn sort of slash almost perfect. So I'd say 8.2 for me.